Hello everybody. My name is Amy Prokopis. If you are new, I am an author. I have written several books. I wrote the young adult science fiction romance, The Arena, and I am the author of the young adult fantasy romance series, Guardians of the Sixth Gate. Holy moly, book 2 has released since I last talked to all of you guys, so go check it out, Shade of the Shadowlands. It is out, and tonight I am working on book 3. So tonight we are doing what I call a read through. That is when I read through the book in as close to one sitting as I can. I'm trying to mimic what a reader would experience. So I'm just reading the book cover to cover, making notes as I go. I don't make any kinds of changes or anything. I just note what I notice. That way it doesn't take me out of the story. And then after that is done, I go back in and I make my changes. So that is what I'm working on tonight. I had hoped to be mostly finished with my read through at this point, but I am only up to chapter 10, and there are very many chapters. There are 40, I believe. So, it is a long book. Also, if you can't tell, I am pretty sure that I am allergic to the cottonwood trees in my area. So if you've never seen the cottonwood tree, during the day, they literally release cotton. It looks like it's snowing in my backyard at like 2. And I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to them because I'm having like this throat thing going on and my ears feel really thick. I can't hear super well, so that's not great. But we go and power on anyway. So I am here. I am super excited. I have popcorn tonight to snack on as I read and make my adjustments. I also believe my dog just let me know she wants a break to go OUT. So I'm probably starting the stream by going and taking her in the backyard, which it doesn't look nearly as full of cotton right now. I think it's mostly died down, so it shouldn't be too bad. But how are all of you? How's everybody doing? Hello, Dreaming Truth author. I left my own little comment that I am up to chapter 10. So leave your comments in the chat. Tell me what you are up to this week. I am not super busy this week. I am going to pop into work tomorrow afternoon. If you didn't know, I work full-time as a high school counselor. That's my full-time job. It does look like I am a full-time author, or at least that I'm writing all the time. I am not. I just use the most of my time that I can. But I do have to do that tomorrow. But the rest of my week's pretty clear, which I'm excited about because I want to do a ton of editing. I also want to do some YouTube stuff. I'm trying to, since we're in the summer, do a little bit more with that. I do have my monthly recap video planned for Wednesday. And then I have some really fun videos planned for the rest of the month. If you get my newsletter, you have already seen it. If not, go subscribe to my newsletter because I release my goals and my the events for every month. I release that there. Go check that out. But I can hear my dog, so I'm thinking that maybe we want to go ahead and jump into the first sprint. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I try to post 3 times a week. Our live stream is one of them. I do plan to do some more pop-up live streams over the summer months because my schedule is a little easier. So be on the lookout for those. Make sure you subscribe so you see when those go live. And I have noticed that I've had quite an uptick in subscribers this month. So thank you to those of you who may be brand new and watching me. Thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. I've been getting some really sweet feedback from you guys also. Dreaming Truth author says, a few days ago, I finished moving into a new house. Ooh, that's exciting. I haven't written as much as I am used to because of coaching and packing. Once the toddlers are sleeping, I'm going to try getting some words in. Well, that's great. That's exciting, moving to a new house. I know it's also a lot of work because I've done it a couple of times, one of those being with a little guy. But hopefully you guys will settle in soon and really enjoy your new place in the new area. So let's come back over here. First sprint of the night, if you are brand new around here, at least on the scheduled live streams on Sundays, we do 20-minute sprints. We do 3 of them, and then we chat a little bit in between. Usually I'm a little bit chattier than this in the first sprint. I think I will warm up to it as we go, but it sounds like there are some things I need to do for my poor puppy dog, and hopefully my voice will warm up here in a little bit. I might make some tea to help it along. We shall see. But I think now would be a good time to jump into our first sprint of the night. So the first of 3 sprints, 20 minutes on the clock. Hopefully we will all be super productive. I'm going to start on chapter 10. Hopefully I can at least get through most of chapter 10. We will see. I'm hoping to get through a few more chapters for today. And hopefully you guys can be productive as well. So sprint number 1 in 3, 2, 1, sprint. We finished that, or I finished that chapter at exactly the timer. Woo. Okay, so I am now up to chapter 11. Let me cross that off here. That way I know where I am. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. But I posted how I've been tracking my progress there. I wrote out the numbers of all of the chapters on a little sticky note, and I've been crossing them off as I go because one, it's a way for me to track where I am since I'm doing this all digitally. That way, in case I lose my spot for some reason, I know where to pick back up. But also, the act of crossing things off a to-do list is satisfying. And so it's helping me to keep motivated considering how long this book is. So that's been good. So how did everybody else do? Dreaming Truth author wrote 126 words of a new scene. That is awesome. A new scene. Ooh, great. I need to, holy moly, there's still a lot to do for this book. I need to get through this read through, implement the edits, and I also have a couple scenes that I need to add and some that I think I need to adjust. So still quite a bit to do in my world on book 3, especially considering that I want a fall release. So we shall see. I'm a little worried that I have a date in mind, and I'm a little bit worried I'm going to have to push it back just to make the space, which wouldn't be the end of the world. But I also have Winter Witches, my winter romance, releasing in the fall, and I don't want them to fall too close together because I don't want to steal any thunder from one or the other. So if I end up moving the release date for Mistress of Shadows, I may end up having to release Winter Witches later in the year also. It might have to be closer to Christmas than I'd kind of like it to be. We'll see. So, has anyone done any summary things yet? In my area of the world, it has rained just about every day for the last week at exactly 3-4 o'clock. And so it's kind of ruined that afternoon window when we are kind of freed up to do activities. So that's not so nice. But I'm hoping to maybe get a pool day in for Finn and Alex and I sometime this week. I just think it'd be really nice. We haven't done that yet. And Finn loves to swim. So I would love to take him, have a little bit of fun, enjoy cooling off in the pool. That's what I would like. So that's what I'm hoping to do this week. But that's really the most that I have done. Dreaming Truth author. I don't write chronologically. Ooh, so writing in scenes works better for me. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever works for you. That's one I haven't heard of in a while, though. I know that some people do work that way. They write the scenes as they think of them, and then the book falls together for them. I've had not whole books, but I have had some more like series. I've been able to piece together how long a series would be based on certain scenes, but yeah, not super common. I took my oldest daughter out to practice driving. Oh my gosh, she will be 15 in a few months. Wow, that's exciting. That's a really big milestone, driving. She did really well. I'm glad. That's great. Man, I don't remember practicing driving. I know that I did, but I don't remember doing that a ton. So that's really fun. So you have some fun or your daughter anyway has like a fun new thing going for her this summer. She's practicing driving. That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Man, I'm starting to regret not making that drink earlier. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that before we start the next sprint. I'm starting to feel it in my throat again. Oh my gosh. I thought about taking a little bit more time off this week, and I might take things a little slow. I'd really like to schedule a massage. I haven't had a massage in a while, and I've been doing this new workout routine just to try getting back into the swing of things with my running schedule. And so my body was already tense just from like the stress of the end of the school year, switching gears into like an entire new schedule in the summer. I was already a little tense from that. And now with this new workout thrown in, I'm extra tense. So maybe I'm looking at my calendar here. Maybe I can fit one in this week. That would be wonderful. Maybe that's what I do to kind of reset and rejuvenate. I don't know. Oh, after we got home, she hugged me and oh, that's so sweet. And it can be hard to connect to teenagers sometimes. I mean, they're all different and we're all different. And people definitely have different connections with each other. So maybe you two just have a really special bond. But that's great. Hold on to that for as long as you can. Ah, that's such a good moment for you too. I'm excited. That's so sweet. I love to hear those kinds of things. It just makes me smile. The world can be a really gray place, especially the last couple of years. And so I try to really hold on to those small moments when I hear about them. The pandemic for sure taught me to look for those small moments because if you're not looking for the small moments, then the big ones will devour you. So I'm happy for you. That's great. Hopefully, I can have a couple of those like slow down and really reflect moments. Okay. Oops, wrong one. There we go. The second sprint. Make sure to hit the like button if you are enjoying this sprint. I know it's not the most exciting one. I'm definitely not at my A game today, but we're doing okay, I think. It could be worse. I'm hoping that I'll be able to figure out how to best control this by next week so that next week's stream is not nearly as boring and I don't sound horrible for next week's sprints. Hopefully not. We'll have to see. Alrighty. So, one chapter down. If I could do a chapter per sprint and get 3 more for the day, I would be pleased with that. I'd be pleased with that. So we'll shoot for that. I do think that I am going to make myself some kind of a drink for the grossness that's going on here. So I think I'm going to start with that and then get down to chapter 11, which is what I'm on. I learned early in the week, I was only on chapter 3, I think, of Mistress of Shadows, and I discovered that I mislabeled the chapters. So it was supposed to go from chapter 3 to 4, and instead it went from chapter 3 to chapter 3. So this book is longer than I thought. And so every time I start a new chapter, I'm having to make a note at the chapter header that this is actually the next chapter. So hopefully it doesn't happen again, because that would be terrible if this book is actually a lot longer than I thought. So hopefully not. Surely that would only happen once, right? Okay. So sprint number 2 of 3. 20 minutes is on our clock. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. So I was able to get another chapter done. Speaking of, I'm just remembering I did not make my notes. I've been noting, I don't know if I said this in the beginning. I've had this piece of paper here for a while, and I've been noting I've been trying to keep it to like a sentence long. I've been noting what happens in each chapter, just in case there's a place where I can cut some things. And I accidentally spilled my water on the paper while I was getting organized for the stream. So I made myself a digital copy, and I was supposed to be keeping my notes as I went, and I forgot. So I need to do that before I start with the last sprint. Dreaming Truth author says, wow, 221 words. That is great. I am excited that we're all getting so much done. It feels really slow to me because it's only one chapter at a time I'm reading. It just doesn't seem like a lot considering how many there are, but I am slowly chipping away at this. I've decided that if I could do like 5 a day, I would be pretty happy. And even that is a lot. And I'm recognizing that 5 chapters, that's a lot of work. But if I could do that much, I would still be really, really pleased. So we'll see. So far, I have 2 for the sprint, which is good. I think I could do 1 more, which would be a really good amount. 1 more would be 3 for the stream. 3 for the stream, which I would be really, really happy with. That's what I did yesterday, was just 3. So we'll see. I think I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with the size of this book. I'm also dying, absolutely dying to get back to my next writing project, which is Angel's book that will come out, I am hoping, in the spring of 2024. I really wanted to have it ready early in the spring, but I'm thinking that with everything I have going on, I might need a little bit more of a break just for myself. I could definitely have a book finished by that time, but I think I want a little bit more time for myself. And so it might be a later spring, a little bit later in the spring that it will be published, maybe even closer to the end of the spring. That's actually the timeline of the book. It's the end of the spring into the summer. So it would make sense for it to release then. And I'm planning to write those series in like alternate books rather than writing the one series and then the other. I think I'm going to alternate them just for my own sanity because that helps my brain keep fresh. The other book series, I think, will end up being a fall release. And then, of course, the next winter romance, because that is also a series. So I need to sit down and look closer at my timeline and see where everything falls. That still sticks with my 3 books a year, which is kind of what I would prefer. Man, how I write 3 books a year with my schedule, I really don't know. Don't know at all. Oh my gosh. So you wrote 221 words and got 2 of your toddlers to sleep. Oh my gosh, that is a lot. Wow. Holy crap. Thankfully, these days, my toddler goes down pretty easy. He actually will walk himself in and hop in bed completely willingly. He grumbles about it the whole way, but he, goes off to his own bed, which is great. Love that. Glad I'm in that stage. So good for you, because that's a lot of work. 882, 1,000 for the day. Wow, that's good. I do most of my writing on the weekends. In the last 2, I've kind of taken them off just to give myself a little bit of time. I think I said in the last stream that I was having a really difficult time mentally adjusting to the sudden switch in pace. I went from being extra busy for the end of the year because I work in a school. And so we were trying to, do our best to get all of our kiddos graduated who are supposed to be graduating, planning for all of those things because there's always like a million events related to that. And so we did graduation, we did all of that, we did the final cleanup from the year, and then all of a sudden it was like big drop off. You don't have to be here anymore. There's still things I have to do, but you kind of get to choose when to go in and do them now, and you have a little while to do them, and I'm not used to that. And it threw me like into a giant tailspin. I don't know why I'm re-explaining this. I think I already talked about it last week, but basically it kind of messed up my mojo a little bit, and I had to regroup because it was not something I was ready for. And so I spent the last 2 weekends just take a deep breath, take a little time for myself and get used to it. And I finally feel like I can organize my time again. This is the most I have written since I started moving. I am happy to have enough energy to write again. I understand that. That is a lot of work, moving your family, especially when you have kids in your family, and then doing all the other things like working and just life stuff. It seems so minuscule, but sometimes on a Sunday, which is when I do all the house stuff, sometimes not getting the laundry done by 10 o'clock in the morning because I slept in, or I took a little time to enjoy playing with my toddler, or whatever it is. Sometimes that one thing can throw off the whole day so much that it makes it the rest of the week really difficult at home. It seems so small, but it definitely has a ripple effect. So I get it. Moving with kids is hard. Thankfully, when we moved into this house, my little guy was, how old was he? He wasn't quite a year yet. He was a few months from that. Because we moved in the winter. He was probably 3 months from a year-ish. Yeah. So he was still little enough that you like had to move him with you. And so that wasn't so bad. But to move with kids, especially if they were little enough to be wandering around, but not old enough to help with the move, that would have been difficult. I feel like we've really gone off track with this last sprint. But I think it is time for our third sprint of the night. We are probably going to finish a little bit early. It is 9:25. Maybe not super, super early. Normally we wrap up a little before 10. So maybe not super early. I may stay up and see if I can finish a little bit more editing. I don't know. Now that I mentioned my next project, I so badly want to pull it out. I may have to split my time because I'm just dying to get back to that project. I may have to split my time between that and editing. Don't think that's the best idea, but might have to do that. All right, let's go. I am right there with you. Okay, third sprint. Make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. Speaking of, the newsletter on amyprokopis.com, that is where every month I put out all of the plan for the whole month for what I'm writing. Everything on YouTube goes on there, so you get an idea of what I'm posting on YouTube. So if you already got that, know what's coming out video-wise this month, which is super fun. And I give you a glimpse into my Patreon. So my Patreon members, they get exclusive things. For instance, in the month of December, when I did my Write a Book in a Month challenge and I wrote my winter romance, I posted that book a chapter a day to Patreon in the month of December to celebrate Christmas time. So they have had Winter Witches already for almost a whole year, and I'm just getting ready to publish it to the public. So if you're interested, you can go subscribe to that on Patreon, but my newsletter is the only place where you get a glimpse into what goes into that. I don't post anything about Patreon anywhere else. So if you're interested in all of the exclusive content or just curious about my process, you can get all of that in the newsletter, and that's completely free. So go to amyprokopis.com for that. Now, on to our third and final sprint of the night, which is sprint number 3. 20 minutes is on our clock. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, so I did not quite finish this chapter, but it is a longer one. But I did get quite a bit of it done. I am nearing the end. I'm in a really fun scene also. So now things have started to pick up in the book, and I'm really starting to, I feel like, hit my stride with reading. I'm hoping that doesn't mean that there's a giant lull in the beginning, though, because that is not good. That's not good for readership when you don't hook people in immediately. I think maybe it's just that I'm over my dread. I don't know. How did everything go for everyone else? Let's talk about that. I was able to write 44 words, but had to stop to do research. Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes you have to get all your ducks in a row before you can move forward. I've definitely been there. I think it has been a pretty good night of sprinting. I'm starting to feel better about my read through on this book. It's starting to go a bit better. Let's see. I got a message. I think yep, all good. So I think even though it seems like it's a little earlier than normal, normally it's like an hour 45 when we end our stream, but it's only an hour 33. But I think that now is probably the best time to end our stream. So I think that that is what we will do. Holy moly. So strange. I probably need to go take some allergy meds, get a nice night's rest, because I do have some work not in the morning, in the afternoon, but I have to do quite a bit in the morning to free up my afternoon. So there is still quite a bit to do on my agenda. So I think this is where I leave you. Thank you guys so much for watching, sticking with me, writing with me. I love these streams. They're so fun. I am planning to have another for next week. So as soon as I hop off of here, I'm going to schedule that one. So that will be up on YouTube, ready to go for all of you for next week. Make sure you go. And I think there's like a reminder button. Go click it so you don't forget about it. So it sends you a notification before we start next week. And that's pretty much it. Click the link down below if you would like to check out Shade of the Shadowlands, which is my book that just released this week. Check that out below. There's a link there to my link tree. It'll give you all of the things in the world of Amy Prokopis Publishing. And I think that's just about it. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, this is always really fun. It's nice to write with others because writing alone gets lonely. So thank you guys for joining me and keeping me company tonight. That is it for the night. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.